Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the HK Jewel podcast. We are here to record our first episode. Today is going to be different than most of our episodes, where we're actually going to be interviewing other streamers, gamers, podcasters, and all kinds of people that have used social media to enhance their business, their personal growth, their socialization, and whatever else they have used their social media for. Today is simply to introduce myself. So I have come up with some questions that I will be asking other streamers that I'll technically ask myself. These questions were developed based on y'all's feedback from my actual journey going live, from utilizing my own Discord and my own systems where I have had you guys giving me feedback to be able to develop these questions. So it's going to be a little bit different because in theory, I'm asking myself these, but I hope you do enjoy, and it is the baseline start of our journey together with this podcast. So, the first question that we have today is, well, can I tell a little bit about myself and what got myself into streaming? It's going to be awkward asking myself questions, but here it is. Um, so, I'm HK. My name is actually Juliana. I am a neurobiologist. I have 2 degrees in education. I taught high school. I've worked numerous jobs from, delivering pizza, making pizza, Joanne Fabrics, to being a teacher, to construction, and everything in between. How did I land into this world of social media and streaming? Well, totally accidental. I was trying to help a friend with her journey in social media, and I ended up falling in love with the study of the algorithm and the data and how to beat the system. And one thing led to another, and now I am known as the TikTok teacher because I spend a lot of time trying to understand policy guidelines, violations on how to stream. We do a little bit of everything in our streaming where we talk about all things related to TikTok, TikTok Shop, agencies, the TikTok itself, battles, and everything else. Now, with the cultural and the political dynamics of where we are today, we are diversifying our portfolio because you never know where social media and the platforms that we use today are going to be tomorrow. I mean, some of you guys may remember Orkut if you are from Brazil or like actually use that platform, but there was MySpace and blogging and ICQ. Oh gosh, ICQ, I'm ancient. And a lot of other platforms. So tomorrow is unpredictable. And so, with that being said, we are expanding what we're doing and immersing ourselves in other platforms. What games or type of content do I primarily focus on my streaming? My streaming is primarily focused on helping others achieve their goals and helping others succeed in their platforms, helping others get the courage to go live, understand the ins and outs of going live, and everything about their journey. But if I were to choose a different content and at some point decided to change, I think I would do a little bit of NPC and focus a little bit more on the marketing side of social media as an influencer. I do like to review products a lot. One of my favorite things that I have started doing are thought videos. So I do like those. As far as gaming, I do play games on my personal live, but I've never streamed or played a game publicly. What inspired me to start having a streaming career? It was accidental. I fell into this and somehow it was a fit. And here we are, 1 year later, launching our podcast and launching the second phase of our journey. I started this social media journey with nothing on TikTok at approximately August/September of 2023. We are at 30,000 followers today with over 500 subscribers to our TikTok channel and slowly growing our other social medias. Our other social medias have lacked in attention, but that's all about to change. What challenge did I face when I first started streaming and how did I overcome them? I think the biggest challenge with streaming, it's dealing with negativity. You want to be positive, you want to be inspiring, you want to support others in their journey, and somehow there's always going to be those people who can't see your light, who want to curb all that positivity. And I think that sometimes wears on you, but having a team of supporters that you can rely and call and reach can mean the world of a difference, whether that is an agency or a management company or whether those are actual friends in and outside of the app. Having a support team is huge. I think this journey is very isolating for people who think that it's easy to do what you do in front of the camera. And sometimes it's emotionally taxing. And so when trolls hit, sometimes trolls hit hard. Can I share a memorable moment from my streaming journey that stands out to me? I think the day that stands out to me the most was the day that I almost lost my account due to trolls and violations and reports all at once. It was a Monday morning. It happened to be the first day of a subscription competition. And all of a sudden, our team came together and we made it to number two in the country for that morning. Now, did we stay number two? No, but that's not the point. The point is, um, at that moment that I needed support, that I needed an energy boost, that I was in tears, that I was about to throw in the towel and walk away, all of these strangers came together and decided, hey, this is what we're going to do. And they showed the trolls like not to mess with our team. And I think that that's the day I realized that I have a team and this team is amazing. And all of the people that I have supported are now paying it forward and paying it back to me, which is amazing to see. How do I engage and connect with my audience during streams? Oh, that's really hard. I am very ADHD and staying focused and alive is extremely difficult. Um, I have amazing moderators and managers that work with me and are able to help me stay centered. We joke a lot, so we tend to use a lot of like keywords to be able to use my squirrelness to our advantage. But I do try to engage with all of the gifters, all of the subscribers, the questions as much as possible. Obviously, it's humanly impossible to acknowledge every single person that comes into a room, but I do try. It requires a lot of hydration and focus, but I do try. I try not to ignore the chat. I think one of the things that is the most disservice to you as a streamer is to ignore your chat, to just focus on the stories. Unless you are a storyteller and you're just using the platform to record an episode, don't ignore your chat. If you have an opportunity to engage with them, whether it's through DMs, whether it's through a response in your comments, do engage with your team. It is extremely important to have that reciprocity of attention. What does my typical streaming schedule look like? Well, I have an unusual schedule because a lot of streamers have the opportunity to stream throughout the day, and I don't. I have a day job, two boys that live with me, a bonus son, grandma lives with us, and then two puppers that require a lot of attention, and of course, my husband. And so a day is extremely busy. I wake up Monday to Friday, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I get ready, take my dogs out, make a coffee, put on the makeup, of course, put on the wigs. If you guys have been to my live streams, you know that I wear wigs almost every single day, and it's usually a different one from the previous day. So, of course, we have to get ready. And I try to start my stream at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That lasts approximately 2.5 hours. I go to my day job. I tend to take my lunch break to get caught up with paperwork, emails, and whatnot on my personal life, doctor's appointments and all kinds of things. And then in the evening, I spend almost every waking minute trying to engage back with my supporters. The goal is to eventually do this full time. And so being able to utilize all those moments and then trying to stay focused on family is very difficult. It requires a lot of caffeine. It really does. And then the weekends are a little bit slower because I don't stream 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream whenever my toddler takes a nap. So that's a little bit more flexible, but that's pretty much the gist of my week. How do I come up with ideas for my streams and keep the content fresh? Well, in my case, that's technically easy because TikTok changes policies and events and guidelines almost on a daily basis. So I'm always having to try to stay one step ahead of what's going on out there. So that makes my content constantly relevant. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that I don't try to change the wigs and the background and the outfits and the costumes and involve battling and participate in the events and do Discord giveaways and whatever other ways that I can engage the chat. So I do try to diversify a little bit of what we do on a live, but TikTok makes it easy. However, if TikTok goes away, we're going to have to figure out a different content. And like I said, I really do thoroughly enjoy the product review aspect of this journey. So maybe I'll just start pushing some of that on other platforms as well. How important is my community to me, and how do I foster a positive environment in my stream? Community is everything. Without your community, you don't have a stream. Without the people in your chat, you're nothing. You're just there alone. So for people to say that they are the center of the show, it's not necessarily accurate. You are the conductor of the chat in the community. You are the fabric that holds it together. But the most important thing of your stream is your community, is your chat. Without them, you don't have a stream. And so I try to foster by always like trying to be positive, kind, spread, happiness and pass on the knowledge and pass it forward, everything that I can so they can have a successful day. And even when we do get trolled, I try to convert those trolls into followers and a community member. We try really hard not to lower ourselves to the level of a troll and actually use those as a positive form of engagement and see that what they're actually doing is moving your chat, getting your chat engaged. Obviously, if things escalate to the point where people are uncomfortable, actually, my community has code words and code emojis that they use in my chat to be able to communicate their level of discomfort. So it's really nice because they can engage and be positive too, but whenever they've had enough, that's when we mute and get those folks out of there and continue being positive throughout the day. Have I made any lasting friendships through streaming? Absolutely. Oh my goodness. And can I share an examples? Oh my, I have a list of content creators, and obviously, if I miss any creator here, I apologize because the list is long. You know, Dark Star, Reagan 23, Megan, um, Geek Girl Nikki. We have Fafo Nightly. We have, oh gosh, Gray Rose, and um, Uncle Donut, Eastside Steve, I call him Uncle Donut. We have Always Steven, Brian, Hello Brian, Scrooge, um, Something in the Way. We have the Nun Valak, Mr. Mom, Godzoos, Harley Quinn, Dreamer Muffin, Florida Love. Oh gosh, the list goes on and on and on. I literally could go on listing all of our supporters. I have Sherry and Kelly and Deborah and some of the OG people that have come to my room since I started, and some of the new folks that are there diligently every single day. And so if I have missed you, I apologize. I did not make a list before I recorded this episode, so I should have done it. And I'm sure I'm going to bring up most of these folks in future interviews. And I'm really, really looking forward to introducing every single content creator that has had an impact on my growth. But for the meantime, those are just some to name a few. What has been the most significant hurdle I have faced as a streamer, and how do I tackle it? Um, Convincing people in my personal life that this is a legitimate career. Um, I have a very successful personal life. I've accomplished a lot of things that most folks would consider like huge accomplishments. I have a bachelor's from Montana State University in cell biology and neuroscience. I have a master's in science education from University of Central Florida. I have a master's in human development psychology from Harvard. I almost finished my PhD in educational leadership and policies from University of South Florida. I'm all but dissertation on that PhD. So within the next couple of years, if funds become available, that's a hopscotch away from being a doctor in education. I have a 9 to 5 job that, you know, pays larger than higher than the average salary for folks where I live. And so when you look at that stable career and you look at that stable growth and where I have put myself as a 37-year-old adult that started from nothing, who was on food stamps and Section 8 housing in in high school, um, it's very difficult to convince them to take that leap of faith and gamble that this is a viable thing. That how do you tell people that have never experienced what social media and streaming is, that doesn't understand the infinite possibilities, that you were prioritizing this over your current career, that it's stable? And how do I tackle it? I'm not very good at it. And so I'm tackling it by showing accomplishments. I'm tackling by showing the income. I'm tackling by showing the recognition and the support. But I'm not going to say it hasn't been easy. And moving forward, it's going to be even harder if things shift and I do have to start over in a different platform. How do I balance streaming with my personal life and my commitments? It is extremely difficult. It's getting easier now that my family is getting more involved with it. But in the beginning, they didn't understand that every moment is a possibility to achieve that viral moment or to achieve a content that is going to keep your page moving. As a streamer, you have to be constantly moving content in your page and keeping people entertained. So every moment of your life could be an opportunity. And you don't have a set schedule. So it could be that you spend hours without doing anything, and all of a sudden you receive 5 or 6 messages that are super important to respond. Or all of a sudden you receive 10 or 12 products that you need to do video editing for it, and all of a sudden everything. But at the same time, it gives you the flexibility of not having that 9 to 5 commitment that you're going to have to turn off your camera and put everything aside because you have to be focused on that day job. So it's a give or take. Well, what is the most, oh, I just answered that one. I was about to answer the same question twice. Oh, how do you balance streaming with my personal life and other commitments? Depends on what aspect of my personal life and what commitment. It is one text message at a time, one message at a time, one phone call at a time, and prioritizing what needs to get done today and what needs to get done tomorrow. Is your priority because you need to focus on the growth or you need to focus on the financial? Because sometimes you have to balance both. You have to recognize that you have an immediate need, a short-term need, and a long-term need, and you have to invest some time in all of it. You can't just be focusing on what you need at the moment. And sometimes I need to let go of initial short-term income to focus on building up long-term revenue that is passive, to be able to focus on all the other things that are daily. What advice would I give aspiring streamers looking to start their own channel? I would I would take a little bit of time just trying to find a focus to start with. If you are all over the place, so is your algorithm, so is your data. The AI is not going to know where to push and what to do with you. So even if later on you change the whole entire thing, hide all that content and start fresh, it's a lot easier to just go from one to the next than have to fix something that is all over the place. Once your algorithm is confused, it's a lot more difficult to bounce back. Sometimes it's even better to just scrap it and start brand new. Not that I'm recommending, and I'm not telling anyone to scrap their accounts and start brand new. I'm just saying sometimes that's the case. And so take some time, jot down some ideas, find what you like and what you are comfortable doing every single day. So remember, you will be doing this every single day of your career. So if you are not comfortable doing that thing and you're only doing it because you think that that's going to bring you fame, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to be unhappy on camera, and people are going to see that. And people don't tend to gravitate to misery unless misery is drama intended, and that's for entertainment. So yeah, do with that what you will. What are some of my goals for the next year in terms of my streaming career? To expand. This is step one on my new journey. My first journey was to center myself and be really good at one platform. And now I want to take all that I have in this platform and all I have learned and see how applicable it is for multi-streaming. And my goal is to be not equally, because I think that that would be humanly impossible, or unless I have a bigger team than I do now, to be equal in all other platforms, but I would like to focus more on at least, let's say, an attainable goal would be at least post once a week on each of the platforms. That's IG. Um, actually, I can actually say the words here. This is a TikTok thing. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Lemonade, X, you know, all of the platforms. What are some of the new projects that I'm excited about and plan to stream? Well, one of the new projects is, like I said, it's to learn these other platforms and be more well-versed and use this podcast to be able to start showcasing other content creators and their journey in the hopes that someone somewhere inspires you or gives you that nudge that you needed to start moving forward. Is there anything I'd like to share with other fans and aspiring streamers out there? Share it out, promote your friends, really take some time to support those that support you back. There's this old saying in Portuguese, I don't know if it's going to translate well, but it basically talks about that a home saint doesn't perform miracles, meaning your inner circle and your real life tend to be your least amount of support. Change that. Be the support that those around you also need, and then see if they will support you back, and be that role model for that change. This journey is hard, and the more you can support each other, the better. So take some time to get to know some small content creators and nudge each other, hold each other accountable, and help each other grow. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that this is a great start to the journey. If you thought that these questions were interesting and you look forward to seeing what other creators are going to respond to these questions, please make sure you follow us, subscribe to this podcast, share it out, contact us. I will be looking for other streamers, and the number of your followers is not relevant to me. It's your journey that I'm interested about. And make sure that you connect with us on all the other social media platforms. You're going to find HK Jewel is a standard username everywhere. So make sure you find us and follow us, and look forward to answering more questions. These were just a few beginner introductory questions. If there are any other questions that are you are interested on me answering, send them to me, message us, and I'll create another set of lists and things to continue answering, teaching, guiding you in this process. Y'all have an amazing day. Be kind to each other, spread all that positivity, and I'll see you on the next recording in the next episode.